We just found out this week. I had no clue. Sister Karen and I went back and looked at some old business meeting records. This church has given almost $9 million since 1988 to the work of God. Oh my Lord, how exciting is that? But the end is not in sight. We may reach that $50 million, who knows? My dad loved missions and he loved missionaries. We had a missionary at church. I was probably 16, 15. And that missionary said, for every $15 you give to missions, that would convert to a soul. And I'm like, oh, I can be a soul winner. And I had a little job at a bank, so $15, I think that was my first pledge, $15 a month. But later on, Jean and I were privileged to go on an AYC trip as chaperones. This was 1984, and we went to the Philippines and went to Hong Kong. Went first to Hong Kong. The amount of people in that city blew my mind. We passed out like 10,000 tracts one day on the streets. And then as we headed back to the hotel, all those 10,000 tracts were in the gutters. And I'm like, oh God, I think we're gonna get thrown in jail. But then we went to the Philippines, and that's what wrecked my world. Today, the Philippines is the largest United Pentecostal church in the world. And they have over 1 million constituents in the Philippines, but I don't have time to go into what happened to us, but it wrecked my world, and from that day on, I'm like, I want to be involved in missions. I want to be involved in missions. I want to do what I can to raise money and help spread the gospel to the world. When we came to Bossier in 1988, we had a missions committee. Marjorie Docks was over that committee. Anyway, the first thing I wanted to do was schedule a World Missions Conference. And so we put one on the date on the calendar. I think they had already had one. I think when Dan Calk was here before me as pastor, he had had one missions conference. I'm not sure how it worked. But so I scheduled our first missions conference, had a couple of missionaries coming in. Man, I will never forget. So I wanted to do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I didn't know in those days this church was not a Saturday night church. I will never forget, we had a missionary from Europe here by the name of Bill Patrick, and he was incredible. Saturday night, man, I was so pumped, and we go to church, nobody comes. There's like 50 people there, and I'm embarrassed. And I'm like, man, they missed the best part of this missions conference. Thank God it's not like that today. So we just kept having missions conferences every year, and then it caught on at the Pentecostals of Bossier and became our biggest, most exciting, most productive meeting of the year. I wanted the church to be a missions-minded church, and it was global missions, it was Move the Mission, it was the ladies' offering, it was Save Our Children. I knew that God is not a man, He cannot lie, and I knew if we would start giving to missions, God would just do great things here. And over the years, these wonderful people, oh my God, they started giving. They saw the vision, and it just snowballed. And one year, we had an evangelist that made a prophecy to the church. It was a mind-blowing prophecy that Bossier was going to give $50 million to missions, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do with this. However, that year, for the rest of the year, these people gave $500,000. That's where the Bible school vision started. I wanted to build a Bible school to honor my parents and my wife's parents. It started in Nicaragua. Too long of a story to tell you right now. But from that offering, we built the William H. and Mary Dean Memorial Bible School in Nicaragua. And then we built the Memorial Bible School to Floyd and Reba Leverton in Guadalajara, Mexico. That was the beginning. At one time, we had every missionary in the UPC as a partner. And over time, working with the missions department, we decided maybe not to have every missionary, but to bless fewer missionaries with a bigger offering each month. The Partners in Missions program, the Faith Promise program, has transformed so many lives. And from that, we have built Bible schools around the world, Papua New Guinea, Vietnam, Costa Rica, and even through men's ministry in Louisiana, we were able to send teams of men to so many nations I've lost count. Built an orphanage in Brazil, built a church in Brazil, got involved in Home International, built the DeLisa Cox Administration building in Guatemala on the orphanage there. It just snowballed, and honest to God, right now I have a burden to build another Bible school to honor my dear friend Harold Hoffman, who passed away with a brain tumor, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Land is being purchased right now. I've got friends that's going to help us. So we're moving on, folks. The end is not in sight. I got a burden for Bible schools because I served 9 years on the Global Missions Board, and I became acutely aware that training the national pastors is the most important thing we can do. And I learned this from missionaries who said this is the most important thing. We've got to train the nationals, because we have countries where, because of the governments, and some governments were taken over by different political party, our missionaries couldn't stay. But the nationals were there and they were trained, and I began to realize this is our best investment, because it's going to outlive me. It's going to outlive so many people in this congregation. Sister Marjorie Doxey, who was over our missions department forever. There is a Bible school in the Philippines now called the Marjorie Doxey Memorial Bible School. They're training nationals in the Philippines. Sister Marjorie's gone, but her name is on that Bible school, and it is moving on. And they are right now training the nationals to spread the gospel in the Philippines. What better thing could we do than to build these Bible schools? So we had an I Love My Church weekend, and our guest speaker came to our church, and his title of his sermon was The Wake. Man, I never forgot it. And I want the Pentecostals of Bossier to know this. I've told them repeatedly, you don't understand. The Pentecostals of Bossier have inspired so many other churches. Tyler Stevenson was an evangelist. He just came through. He came through preaching. He used to call me and say, Pastor Dean, when I pastor a church, I'm going to model it after Bossier. I'm going to be a missions church. He called me 2 weeks ago. They just had their missions conference. I was at 2 of his first missions conferences. He said his church pledged $1.2 million for 2026 to give to missions. It's a wake we have created. The church in West Monroe, Apostolic Restoration Center, pastored by a boy who came out of our church. His church pledged so much, he started the Bible school to honor me and my wife in Guatemala, the Jerry Dean and Regina Dean Bible School. It's finished. We got to go down and dedicate it. People are being trained right now in that Bible school. But it's far-reaching. It's the wake, because we gave, other churches were impacted. They saw what was happening. They saw our church be blessed, and the end is not in sight. Thank you, Pentecostals of Bossier. Your giving has allowed us to do this. We just found out this week. I had no clue. Sister Karen, I went back and looked at some old business beating records. This church has given almost $9 million since 1988 to the work of God. Oh my Lord, how exciting is that? But the end is not in sight. We may reach that $50 million, who knows? So the year our church gave that, we call it a miracle offering. It wound up being, I think, about $700,000. It was amazing. It's amazing. I remember one morning our assistant, Shannon Stanley, one of our ladies, had written a check for $22,000. And she said, do I put this in front of the pulpit? I said, that's what the evangelist said, put it in front of the pulpit. Well, here's my son-in-law Shannon standing up here making announcements, going crazy, and he's stepping all over that $22,000 check. I eased up there and slipped it out. Anyway, I go to a Global Missions Board meeting, and my dear friend John Hopkins, who went to Panama with no churches, today they have over 80 churches in Panama. What good feeling would that be? And he's retired as a missionary, but I said, John, where can I build a Bible school to honor my parents and to honor my wife's parents? He said, come here, Jerry, I want to show you a video. So he shows me a video, and it's a pastors and wives conference in Nicaragua, and there's, I don't know, 300 people there. They are going crazy. They're in little huddles, they're worshiping, they're crying, they're speaking in tongues, they're just going crazy. And then the camera pans in on a little straw offering basket. And it's piled with Nicaraguan money. They call it Cordovas down there, and it's running over. And I looked at him and I said, John, are they shouting over that offering? He said, yeah, they're going crazy over this offering. And I'm like, what is this about? He said, I want you to email Steve Nix, missionary to Nicaragua. He will tell you. Well, to shorten this story, I emailed Brother Nix. He said they were shouting over that offering, which was 1,500 American dollars, the equivalent of $1,500. They gave their bus money home. They gave their food money that they had saved to come to this conference, and they're shouting over it. They're worshiping over it, $1,500. I got to tell you, one of the highlights of my life is at one of our missions conferences, we zoomed Brother Nix in to our screens. And we wept as he said, we have prayed 15 years for a Bible school. They had a Bible school in the back of the district superintendent's church. He had a room. They slept in that room. They rolled their little mattresses up and put them in a closet, pulled tables out, ate their meals in that room, put those tables up, put chairs and desks up for the teaching of Bible school. He said, we prayed for 15 years for a Bible school. And the Pentecostals of Bossier built that Bible school. When they had the dedication, I had emailed all my brothers to get them to go that were still here. My oldest brother had deceased, so they all agreed to go. I will never forget the moment. We were in a big van. Brother Nix pulled that van around the corner, and there was this beautiful building. William and Mary Dean Bible School, letters over the top. Oh, you should have seen me and my brothers now. You talk about a mushy moment. We started weeping and crying and praising God. This Bible school, and that Bible school is amazing. This was years ago. They've already remodeled this Bible school. But we went down and I had a burden to have a crusade. They got 11 acres and we have a crusade in the back of this Bible school, this big field. I don't know how many people were there. We've got videos of it. Brother Dross, Mark Dross, went with us to be the speaker. It was 3 nights. And, oh man, I wish you could have been there. It's just like this incredible moment when you've got 10 to 12,000 people in an open field. They had rented 5,000 chairs from Walmart, believe it or not, little white plastic chairs. I don't know why they rented them, because the people never sat down. The worship was mind-blowing. 2,192 people received the Holy Ghost in those 3 nights. It's just, we saw miracles, we saw healings. And in the background, when you see the video, there it is, this 2-story William H. Dean, Mary Dean Bible School. Thank you, Pentecostals of Bossier. Many of the people who gave are no longer with us. They're in the ground. They're waiting on the rapture. Thank you. God bless you.